You can wave that wand all you want, but you have no real power.
Wicked for Good is already looking way darker and way messier than anyone expected, and part 2 is definitely hiding some massive twists. So today we're breaking down the wildest Wicked for Good theories that might actually come true, including the ones the trailers accidentally tease and the ones Universal has been low-key hiding since the first movie.
Elphaba, they're coming for you.
Number 10, Glinda will get magic. In the 1939 Wizard of Oz, Glinda is basically a full fairy-level sorceress. She appears in a glowing bubble she conjures herself. She travels with it, and she even changes the weather, like in the poppy field scene. But in the Wicked books and the stage musical, Glinda's magic is way more subtle. It exists, but it's nothing compared to Elphaba's power, and in the movie version, it's made very clear that Glinda has no magical ability at all. Even in the official Part 2 trailers, there's no sign of her casting anything. But then we got that new teaser where young Glinda wishes she were magical, and at the very end, we see her looking at her wand as it sparkles. That tiny moment might be hinting that toward the end of Part 2, Glinda finally discovers a spark of real magic inside her, and it could change how her story ends. Number 9, more cameos ahead. The first movie already proved how good they are at keeping these things secret. We got Alice Fearn from West End, Broadway composer Stephen Schwartz, and even Winnie Holzman, who was one of the creators of Wicked.
He must be a wizard.
We also got the OG Elphaba and Glinda, Idina Menzel, and Kristen Chenoweth appearing in the extended One Short Day segment.
In a book,
So if they hid that many surprises in part 1, imagine what they're keeping under wraps for part 2. Kristen Chenoweth even teased it herself when she was asked if she and Idina would return for part 2. She literally said fans will just have to go and see. And Carrie Ellis and Diane Pilkington from West End have both hinted that they'll have a cameo role in the movie.
Go and watch the second one. Just look out for some familiar faces.
You might see people who look a bit like us.
Number 8, Elphaba might get pregnant. This theory comes straight from the Wicked novels, where it's heavily implied that Elphaba and Fiyero's relationship goes way deeper than what the musical ever showed. And the book leaves a lot of mystery around what happens between them before Fiyero transforms. Now, obviously the movies aren't following the books exactly, but part 1 already proved they aren't afraid to borrow book elements whenever it adds emotional weight. So if part 2 wants to raise the stakes, this would be one of the biggest ways to do it.
Somehow I fallen under your spell.
Number 7, Glinda in Wonderful. In the stage musical, Wonderful is a solo moment for the wizard, a desperate attempt to pull Elphaba back to his side after everything falls apart. It's manipulative, emotional, and very personal. Glinda isn't involved at all.
Wonderful. They called me wonderful.
But in the Wicked for Good trailers, the wonderful footages show Glinda clearly with them during the confrontation. And honestly, that makes perfect sense for the movie version because he needs Glinda as his emotional leverage. Glinda is Elphaba's closest friend and someone whose opinion matters to her. After everything the wizard has done, he can't persuade Elphaba by himself anymore.
They'll call you wonderful. Come and be wonderful.
Number 6, we won't see Dorothy's face. In the stage musical, we barely see Dorothy at all. The most we ever get is her shadow when she pours water on Elphaba, and Wicked for Good is already following the same pattern. Across every trailer we've gotten, from the very first teaser of part 1 down to the latest for Good footage, we've never seen Dorothy's face. It's always just her feet, her back, or a quick side profile that hides everything important, and if they've kept her hidden this consistently, it basically confirms we won't see her face in the movie.
Goodbye, Dorothy. Bye, Dodo. It's just that one road the whole time.
The director John M. Chu said we'll see more of Dorothy than we ever did in the stage musical, which the trailers already prove, but he also said he wants to respect who Dorothy is to the audience as much as possible, and that means keeping her identity open with no specific actress and no defined look. Number 5, the wedding chaos was planned.
Here's the plan. I have no plan.
Well, I do.
Oh, thank God.
In the trailers for the movie, we see a massive chaotic moment where the animals crash Glinda and Fiyero's big wedding celebration. By this point in the story, both Glinda and Elphaba know Morrible and the wizard are turning Oz into a police state, and the animals are the ones suffering the most. So the theory is that Glinda and Elphaba secretly coordinated with the animals to expose the wizard's cruelty publicly, and the wedding was the perfect place to do it.
This is the work of the Wicked Witch!
Number 4, a post-credits scene. In the stage musical, musical, the story basically ends with Elphaba being melted. Glinda arrives at the scene heartbroken, completely convinced her best friend is gone forever, and she carries that belief all the way to the final scene. But honestly, it wouldn't hurt for the movie to change the ending just a little bit. The theory here is that after the main story wraps up, we might get a post-credits or even a mid-credits scene where Glinda finds a secret letter from Elphaba confirming she's alive and explaining everything that happened with Fiyero. It wouldn't ruin the mystery and it wouldn't break the original ending. Number 3, the house falling on Nessarose. In Wicked for Good, Nessarose officially becomes the Wicked Witch of the East, ruling over the Munchkins with an iron fist. And in the original musical, Elphaba enchants the ruby slippers to help Nessa walk, which eventually leads to the famous moment where Dorothy's house crushes her.
The Munchkins call me because a new witch has just dropped a house on the Wicked Witch of the East. And there's the house, and here you are. And that's all that's left of the Wicked Witch of the East.
The movie has already rewritten that storyline, and instead of giving her the ability to walk, Elphaba's enchantment now makes Nessarose fly. And it's very clear they did this to avoid the disability backlash that the original version has gotten over the years. But from everything we've seen in the trailers, there is no confirmation that they're keeping that plot, or even that Nessarose dies at all. Changing her ending would allow the movie to respect disability representation and also surprise audiences. So don't be shocked if they completely rewrite the moment that's been canon for 85 years.
Perhaps a change in the weather.
It's gone too far.
Number 2, Fiyero never fully turns into a Scarecrow. In both the stage musical and the books, Fiyero turns into the Scarecrow after sacrificing himself for Elphaba. But what if the movies aren't following that completely? The first movie is already filled with Scarecrow Easter eggs hinting at his fate. For instance, his hair has blonde highlights representing a straw-filled head, and his dance movements mimic the Scarecrow's floppy puppet-like motions. The theory here is that Fiyero is only temporarily transformed. He becomes the Scarecrow for a time, but eventually regains his human form. And it makes sense narratively. It would be emotionally satisfying if Fiyero returns to his human self, reunites with Elphaba, and they escape together, finally free to live their lives as themselves, rather than as symbols of tragedy. Number 1, Glinda knows the truth. In the musical, Glinda spends the entire ending believing Elphaba is gone. She sends the wizard away, takes the throne, and holds herself together. But deep down, she's grieving a friend she thinks she failed. That heartbreak is the final note of the entire show. But the movie doesn't have to follow that completely. The theory is, what if in the film, Glinda actually knows Elphaba survived? What if she may have even helped Elphaba plan her escape from Oz?
You're the only friend I ever had.
Because I knew you. And I've had so many friends.
And these are the theories. Which one do you think will actually happen in Wicked for Good? Let us know in the comment.